Welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to go over tracking food on night shifts, how to track food properly on night shifts so that we can still make progress over the course of the week. We're going to go over meal timing, how to plan ahead and why you should plan ahead, and how to actually track food when we are working night shifts. So covering that at the end, so make sure you stay until the end of the video. So the first one, meal timing. Eating food at night turns to body fat. How many times have you heard people say that? If you eat later on in the evening, you then go to bed, and it basically just gets stored as body fat. It absolutely does not. That is incorrect. It all comes down to the energy balance equation. So if you are on 2,000 calories a day and you're losing weight at 2,000 calories a day, it doesn't matter if you eat those calories in the morning or in the evening, it's still 2,000 calories a day. You still have less calories consumed than you are burning off over the course of the day. So even if you eat that meal later on, your body's still basically going to burn its way through those calories and still use body fat as a source of energy because we're not getting enough calories. If we miss breakfast, our next meal will be stored as body fat. Again, another common fallacy which is banded around, and it's probably one of the worst ones because people sometimes feel like we have to eat when we get home from a night shift, even if we're not hungry, so that we can kind of keep our metabolism going. Again, it falls back into the top one. It all comes down to that energy balance equation. So does meal timing matter? Absolutely not. So whenever you feel comfortable eating on a night shift, that is when you should eat. Don't feel that you have to force feed yourself to eat when you wake up. When I used to come off night shifts, I was never hungry when I woke up. I would never force feed myself to eat in the morning. So you guys shouldn't be doing that either. If you get home from work and you don't feel hungry, don't feel like we have to eat breakfast to sort of keep the metabolism going, the main thing should be sticking to our calories over the course of the day. Stick to easy options. Now just stick to really easy food options. For myself, when I used to work night shifts, I would bring really easy things to work. I couldn't eat kind of normal meals during the night. Again, if you do prefer to eat chicken curry at 5 in the morning, like a crazy person, it's totally up to yourself. It doesn't matter. It's not going to negatively impact your sort of weight loss goals at all. I used to bring really easy things with me. A lot of times I would bring rice cakes, I would bring cereal options, I would bring protein shakes, protein bars, etc. Just really simple, easy options that I could stick in my kit bag and basically eat on the go if I wasn't able to get back to the office to have something. Now, best thing to do for any run of shifts, but especially night shifts, is to plan ahead. We don't have to prep, but we have to be prepared. If you take anything from this video, take that from this video. We don't have to prep, but we have to be prepared. So what I mean by that is that we don't have to spend 2 or 3 hours prepping food in the kitchen. I didn't do a huge amount of meal prep when I worked shifts. Sometimes I would make really simple meals like mince and potatoes or spaghetti bolognese, just really simple, easy options that I didn't actually have to spend a lot of time cooking. Be prepared with the foods though, so if we are going in for a run of 3 night shifts, don't just go in blind. Try and bring something with you, and again, on your last rest day, before that run of night shifts, or even on the day before you actually go into work, go to the shops and get some really easy options and make sure that they are options that you enjoy. The food, number 2 here, should also be quite versatile, so try and bring something that you can eat in a different office, in a different hospital, wherever it is that you're working. Try and bring something that you can eat outside of the sort of normal environment. So for myself, with rice cakes and cereal options and protein bars, I could eat them wherever I was. I didn't have to get back to the office to use a microwave or anything like that. I didn't have to put stuff in the fridge. So even for yourself, if you want to bring a microwave meal with you or something that has to be quite cold, get some ice blocks. Get some of those ice block things that you freeze, put them in the freezer, take them to work with you, put them in a lunchbox. Again, stick that in your kit bag and bring it out with you. Even if it's something as simple as a sandwich, take that with you, stick it in your kit bag, put one of those sort of cooling blocks in or one of the cooling gel pads just to keep it cold throughout the entirety of your shift. Number 3 is pick stuff that you enjoy. If you're going into a weight loss phase, don't just eat absolute boring food because you feel like you have to eat boring food. You're going to be more likely to go off track with your diet if you try to eat plain chicken and rice at 3 o'clock in the morning that you cooked 3 days ago. It's absolutely disgusting. No one should have to eat like that, and you absolutely do not have to eat like that. So pick things that you enjoy. Go to Tesco, get a microwave curry, get a chicken chow mein from Tesco, whatever it is. Go to Aldi, pick up really easy options. Bring things to work with you on night shifts that you can actually look forward to having. You're going to be a lot less likely to give in to any sort of takeaway temptations if you've actually got a meal that you've already spent money on back at the office and you know you're going to get your piece and you can get back and eat that. Pick stuff that you enjoy, always. Have a backup plan as well. For myself, I used to go to Tesco and get a Tesco meal deal. If I, for whatever reason, had a really busy day off and I didn't quite get in and get stuff bought from the shops, I would go to Tesco and I would get a Tesco meal deal. I would get a protein shake or a packet of crisps or whatever it was. I would get a sandwich, usually with 1 or 2 other options that I picked from that meal deal, depending on where my calories were at the time. Again, things like McDonald's, go to McDonald's and get the grilled chicken wraps. They're fantastic, they're relatively low in calories. So how to actually track calories. Now, for calories, we want to have daily and weekly targets. Especially when we're on shifts, it's easier to have weekly targets than it is to have daily targets, because you don't really know what's going to happen when you go to work. You might massively undereat, you might massively overeat. If you get absolutely shafted and you get held on for 4 hours at work, chances are you're probably going to eat slightly more that day than you had originally planned for, just because you've had a much longer shift than you originally anticipated. So if we're having 2,000 calories per day, that's 14,000 calories per week. Again, just easy numbers for my little simple brain. 2,000 calories per day is 14,000 calories per week. So it doesn't really matter when we have those calories. Ideally, we would try and spread them out as evenly as possible, just for sort of hunger and adherence purposes to a diet. But again, if you go over your food by 300 on a given shift, it's very easy for us to manage that, because you can just reduce 100 calories a day over the next 3 days and basically make up for it. You'll still then hit your weekly target, which is the one thing that we want to focus on, and still make progress and lose weight if the goal is weight loss for the week. Now, tracking food on night shifts, we want to basically track food from when we wake up until bedtime. The full day, so when you wake up, if you wake up at 2 or 3 in the afternoon, track food from then until you go to bed the following day. But as we see on the next one, don't change dates to track, it doesn't matter. So I don't want you then to wake up at 2 in the afternoon and then think about changing to the next day at midnight and then tracking half the day and then waking up the next day and tracking half the day and then having to change it again. Literally just track it on the same day. So for example, if you wake up and it's the 5th of the month, you wake up on the 5th, just track all the food that you eat from when you wake up until you go to bed on the 5th. So if you're on MyFitnessPal and you then log in after midnight to log stuff and it's moved on to the 6th, just move it back until the 5th. Your body doesn't really know what day it is, so it doesn't actually matter. If shit hits the fan and you go over, so again, happens to all of us when we're working shifts, just track it and manage it for the rest of the week. So this falls back into the top one. The main thing from this is to make sure that we do track it. So a lot of times what you'll see is people are in a diet and they'll track the days that are good. If they go to work and they get absolutely shafted at work and they get McDonald's, they'll just say, oh well, I'm not going to track that into MyFitnessPal, because then they think they've failed. The only time you've failed is really over the course of the week if you've not managed your food. If you're again on 2,000 calories and you have 2,500 calories, you get held on at work, you've been kept on for 4 hours, you've had a McDonald's, track the extra 500 calories and add it on, so you can say, right, okay, well that day I've had 2,500, so all I really need to do over the next 5 days is take 100 calories off and I'll still hit that 14,000 calorie target over the course of the week. If you haven't subscribed already, go and subscribe just now. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up so that I can keep doing these videos. I'm going to do these every single day as well, so you better subscribe and you better get used to me sending you emails with them. Hope you're having a good one, stay safe, and I will speak to you soon.